guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today with a Furnace Spawner deck. Now the Furnace is the newest rare card in Clash Royale. It is an Arena 5 card, that means Spell Valley, and let's go ahead and max it out before we use it today in a Spawner deck. So we're going to use the Furnace in what would normally be a pretty typical Spawner deck. So this is level 3, we're going level 4. You can see the hit points and the level of the spawned fire spirits are going to be what is increasing. So now we're at around 1100. We're going to move on up here. Now we're at level 6. Let's continue our climb to level 10. So it seems that the Furnace really upgrades in a similar fashion to the Spirit Goblin hut and the Barbarian hut in terms of the hit points exponentially. I think it's a relative percentage gain, and same thing with the spirit level. They basically stay lock in step with the common card as it progresses around the same level. So Max Furnace, here it is right now. Let's go to the info screen so you can see the stats. I said level 10. I was thinking pre-update. Now it's a level 11 is a Max Furnace. Those are the fire spirits stats there as well. And yeah, if you hold down the cards now, you can see the hit points and the damage that the card does. Also, I did want to show you, in case you don't know yet, they added a new copy deck feature. So basically, you can go to anybody and you can copy their current battle deck into any one of your deck slots. That's a cool little feature there, and it makes it easier so you don't have to go ahead and weed out the cards from your stash, especially now because, hey, the cards are really starting to add up. 54 in the game. There might be a day that there's hundreds of cards in the game. It's kind of tough to wrap your mind around. But this is the deck we're going to be using today. We're going to have Fire Spirits and the Furnace in the deck, along with a Royal Giant, Goblin Hut, Barbarian Hut, and the Elixir Collector, and arrows. Let's see, who can we battle today? I think Godson is available, and for whatever reason, he put his name as blank. This is still the developer server, so keep that in mind. It's not. Hey, look at Godson. He didn't even type his name in. I wonder if his name is in his videos. You'll have to go check that out. Anyway, my starting hand here for this spawner deck is going to be a Furnace, well, all three of the huts essentially, and archers. So I'm going to play things pretty slow here. I have no idea what Godson's playing right now, so we'll have to see. It looks like he's also playing a spawner deck. So it's going to be spawner deck on spawner deck crime right now. Let's see what cards he has. He has Spear Goblins, and I don't have Spear Goblins, so we'll see how they compare and contrast. I have arrows and the elixir pumps as well. And my philosophy here, when you're playing a hut deck and you're matched against another hut deck, I think the best thing to do is, if you have the elixir pump, I think you play defensively. Always try to spam out elixir pumps as opposed to extra huts. Obviously, you need to defend at the same time, but it's so important to keep the elixir advantage on your side. So every time I can, I'm going to continue to build these elixir collectors, and I'm going to use the arrows when I can too. Using arrows against a group of 4 buildings like that, the elixir collector, the hut, or 2 huts, and the actual tower, is not a bad value trade on my end. So if you can hit 4 targets, especially when one of them is a goblin hut, you can take out essentially 2 goblins, and then the damage on top of the 4 structures is actually a good win for you, especially when there's nothing else obvious to play at the moment. So I have a Royal Giant going in the left-hand lane here. I'm backing it up with some archers. He's going to do some work over there, but I don't want to commit too hard. I want to stay with my philosophy here. This is an elixir battle right now at this point. So I have Royal Giant. Did he have Royal Giant? I didn't even pay attention. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and start reloading my huts again in the left-hand lane. He's coming out with you the hog in the right-hand lane. I have nothing to play against this hog right now. I'm going to make a Furnace as a panic move right on top of the hog. We'll see what kind of damage these fire spirits do. Not a heck of a lot, but it's weird. This match is kind of weird because I am a Furnace deck going against another Furnace spawner deck. So the fire spirits are kind of, Xing each other out on that end. So let's go ahead and make sure I'm defending pretty well with those barbarians in the left-hand lane. Let's give him some support, some air support with those arrows there. He has 1 elixir pump right now. I have the lead, and you can see I have a real factory going over here. I have 1, 2 elixir pumps. He's coming at me in the left-hand lane. I have now 3 elixir pumps, but that was kind of to distract that hog there. Oh boy, things are getting kind of crazy here. I'm going to go ahead and drop some spirits on those barbarians. They do a decent amount of AoE splash damage, and it's not great against a single unit, the fire spirits, but if you can get a bunch of units, then you can pull off the victory like we just did. Good game, Godson. Let's go ahead and see if he's ready to go again. And you know what I want to do, though? In case he plays the same hut deck, let's go ahead and swap out that fireball for the arrows there. So we made that swap, and hopefully this will actually really shut down and make it a really easy win for us. So these are obviously not max furnaces that we're playing. These are the tournament standard. So I believe there's 7, I believe, on rares. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Barbarian Hut 7, so I think that's what it is. Anyway, so let's go ahead and continue the match here. Let's not digress too much. So at this point, we're just, again, trying to build this elixir advantage. We really want to maintain the elixir advantage, especially using the fireball. Look at this value from the fireball, guys. This is what it's all about. That's why we switched the fireball. If this was a tournament, that would have been a really good play on my end. I mean the swap, not the actual fireball landing there. So again, just going to go ahead and continue building up elixir. We have the fire spirits to use on top of the furnace. I'm not sure if we need them both in the same deck. Maybe it's an either-or situation. The fire spirits themselves go really, really well with the spawner deck, because what they can do is, obviously, they leap into their target. They can take down, you know, a skeleton army, these mass units, or obviously they can take down a pack of spear goblins and regular goblins and skeletons. So even against a cycle deck, I can imagine that the fire spirits do have a place in a deck like that. At least it'll be interesting to see how many people start using them at a high-end level. Right now, I think there might be a little bit more utility, even in a deck like this, with the guards card instead of the fire spirits in the type of decks that I use. But hey, I've been wrong many times in the past. I could be wrong again, but they seem to be doing very well, to be honest with you, the fire spirits in this deck, and obviously the furnace is cranking them out. Look at them right now. See, whoa! See, that was the... Okay, that was a little bit of overreaction, but that's what we waited this whole match for, basically, is when they, you know, the swarm happens, it was successful, and this whole spawner push really results in a huge damage dealing to a tower, and that time it was capitalized by those fire spirits. So let's go ahead again. Look at this. This is crazy. Look at my side of the map. It's been a while since I've seen a farm like this on a map. I'm just going to keep building. You know, I don't know. I want to get the Royal Giant in there. Increased range. He really shines in these spawner decks, the Royal Giant. I'm going to go ahead and abandon the right tower. Well, let's go ahead and 3-crown this, guys. Let's do it. We'll go ahead and launch this fireball here. That hut is almost down. The King Tower is down. Nice. So 2-0 with this Furnace spawner deck. It'll be interesting to see what type of home the Furnace finds in a spawner type deck. Stay tuned to my channel. Obviously, you guys know I love spawner decks, and I'll be bringing some more strategy with these cards and all the new cards to you guys soon. So thanks so much for hanging out, guys, and as always, take care.
We don't play for fame, we don't play for cash. We just play for the glory and the clash of the ash.